Laura Grisham here with Laura Grisham Designs. I'm going to share with you today how to make a sunflower on a small Unique in the Creek board. I've always made them on the large board, and I decided to give myself a challenge and try to do it on a small board. I made a yellow one and I posted it and everybody loved it. But today I'm going to show you how to make one in the copper or burgundy colors, mainly because I'm out of yellow mesh. So anyway, here we go. Enjoy. Okay, I did tape myself painting this sunflower. Since we're not going to do a yellow sunflower, you have to paint the center, the center bloom, and this is what it looks like. I used acrylic paints. I used some metallic paints. I mixed reds and yellows and oranges, copper, and then I took mica powder. It's used a lot with resin art, and I took the gold and I took a brown mica powder and I dusted it onto this bloom to give it a sheen, and you can, when I turn it in the light, you can kind of see how it does. I think it's going to work really well. Here's what the back looks like, so you can see that I just painted it, and it's nice and dry now, so we'll get to use it. Now let me show you how to do the board, this small board, Unique in the Creek board. Now okay. Here's the board. Let's see, here's the top up here, and I've written down too how many petals or how many folds, pieces of mesh go in each zip tie. I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera down. I'm going to put this on my table. We'll bring it down and I'll show you where things are going to go. On row 1, here's the top right here. On row 1, here's your hanging holes. I've got 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places for leaves. You can put leaves anywhere you want to, but I just kind of like to scatter them. I try not to follow a pattern with my leaves. On row 2, every single hole and shared hole will be used. There'll be 48 pieces of mesh on this little bitty board. On row 3, you use just the regular the paired holes, and on row 4, we're going to go all the way around again and use all of our holes. And here's what the back looks like. If that's easier for you to take a screenshot of that and know where your zip ties are going to go. All right. Okay, I have got a golden sunflower yellow. I'm not sure if it's going to work with this particular color sunflower, but I have it just in case, and this is all I have left. You can see I did burn the mesh because this is just regular. It's not value deco mesh, but it is deco mesh, so burning it is pretty important. But I have this color if I need it, if I want it, and I might play with it. We'll see. Then I have this color. It's a brown, but it has like a burgundy sheen to it. I love this. It seems like I used it with my turkey tails last year for Thanksgiving too, but it works really well with the copper and the burgundy sunflowers. Then I have this. I've got a full roll of this too if I decide that I need it. But this is just horizontal wide stripe in a burgundy or maroon, whatever you want to call it. I did wood burn this too, and you can see how when you put this with it, you can see the burgundies pick up in this when you put it beside this. And then I have this. This is an orange, and it's got again a reddish or burgundy tone to it. And I really like this. I think this one's going to really work great. Put it with this one. I mean, that's just going to be so cool. And then throw this in. It's going to be pretty. All right. How do we do that petal, Laura? What in the world have you done? Okay. Again, I don't know what it's called. I have no idea. But I'm going to show you the petal. All right, let me bring you down. All right, I'm going to sit. Okay, we are going to take, and this mesh, you can see this is the end of the roll here. We've got curl side up. I've got my finished edges on the left and right. That is typical, isn't it? And you want a square piece of mesh. You want it, this is everything that I had burned at 10 inches. So I've got a 10 by 10 inch square. I'm going to turn it, of course, into a diamond. And when you're doing this too, start out the same way every time with every color so that your seams are always on the same side. So we're going to turn it into a diamond. And we're going to take, let's see, let me get it this way. We're going to take this corner, the two opposite corners like this. We're going to bring them in to the middle. All right, I'm going to turn it sideways here. I'm going to pull this in, and you can cross it just a little bit so that you've got your raw edges, your edges on the inside here, kind of like a perpendicular line. You've got a horizontal line going right here. And then all you're going to do, and these are going to be really wild looking petals, okay? Because of sunflower, the petals are crazy. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go right here. We're going to pinch it in the middle, and then we're just going to gather it in. And I mean, you can scrunch it, you can grab it, you can do whatever you want. And then we can kind of give it a little tug, and it looks like that. Now, I have no idea what that's called, but it is kind of fun. And your petals can get pretty wild. We're going to zip tie this just like that, and we'll cut that zip tie tail. We'll trim this off, and we have this nice big long petal. Now let's try it in a different color and a different type of mesh. Let's use this orangey burgundy color. All right, here's my finished edges. Turned it to a diamond. I'm pulling this corner and this corner. They're opposite each other. See that? I'm going to pull them in and down. Pull them in and down so that you have this line right here straight. Well, as straight as you can get it. I mean, you know, you're going to pinch in the middle and then gather that up. Make sure that you get your edges in. All right? Get your edges in. Now then, here's this petal. It's hard to see this because it's deco mesh, and that's where I haven't told you this yet. You're going to use a lot of mesh for this project because we're dealing with deco mesh, and it's not as thick, and so it takes more. And with a sunflower, at least the way I like to do it, I like them very full. So anyway, here's this color. Now, let's try this golden brownish, burgundy-ish color. This one, okay? Do the same thing. We're going to turn it into a diamond. We're going to pull these two edges right here. We're going to pull them in. Just pull them in like this if you need to. And sometimes you want to make sure that this point is up. I'm going to pull this down. Here's my horizontal line right here, and I've got this part is just hanging from here down is just waste. But we're going to pinch that. We're going to pull this in and pull this one in, kind of give it a little tug, and there we go. All right, can you see that? It's kind of hard to see. Let's go ahead and zip tie this one. And that's something else that I do. I used to use rubber bands a lot, but I like to use a lot of hot glue to keep my petals in place. And so, but rubber bands were popping. So, but if you put them together, you can kind of get an idea. We're going to have some sheen going on, and it's going to be cool. All right, let's do the yellow one. I think you might be able to see it a little bit better because of the color against this purple mat. All right, diamond, opposite corners into the middle, just like that. You can hold it like this if you want to, and then pull it down. See how that curls up like that? That's what you want to get a realistic sunflower petal. Pinch in the middle. Make sure you've got your edges here. You don't want raw edges sticking out of this at all. and we're pinching all this in. I'm gonna give it a little twist and a tug, and there's my petal. All right. Grab another zip tie, and that is it for my sunflower petals. Okay, that's what they look like. And I actually do the leaves for my sunflowers the exact same way. They just, you know, I guess if you use a different type of mesh, it does look different. Now, you could, if you wanted to, I could take this color and maybe the yellow, and I could double it. And I think if I did that, since I'm going to do a burgundy type sunflower, I would put this color on the outside. So let's see what that does. I'm going to bring it back down. I'm going to put these two together. Let's get that out of the way. Here's my finished edges right here. And I'm going to pull this corner and this corner in. Right down here like this. And pinch it. And pull this in. Pull this one in. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. Isn't that a nice sunflower petal? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie this. I might do some of those. This is where you can be creative. You can do individual petals, like I showed you at first. You can double it like this, layering your colors, because it creates new colors, new textures. I really like that. I really like that. Get that together. Isn't that pretty? Let's see what it does with the burgundy. Throw some of that in there. That's really pretty. Okay. Now, let me get my board, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We are going to, what I did was I on the yellow one, I used just one petal. I didn't layer my mesh. But what I did was I would take two colors, say like these two, and I would put two in each zip tie. Now remember, on row 2, you're using every hole, every pair, and every shared pair, every hole. I mean, there will be 40, if you do this, there's 24 zip ties on row 2 when you do that. And if you use 2 in each one, that's 48 pieces of mesh. So you get to use up all your scraps, okay? What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and make all these petals, and then I will maybe play a little bit before I come back and decide exactly how I'm gonna do this. We are gonna do another petal. I used to use lolly petals around the blossom, the sunflower bloom that I use for the center pieces, the center of the wreaths. And I decided to try something different. So I call them Gerber petals. Out of the deco mesh, they're kind of hard to fold because the stuff is so wiry, but they look like the little petals around the sunflower center. So it worked out really neat. So I'm gonna show you how I did that too when we get back, okay? Let me make some petals and then we'll get this thing put together. I'll be back. Well, it's another day. I got busy and I could not do any more filming. So anyway, this is Monday and we're going to get back on it. We did my little fancy schmancy sunflower petal that I don't know the name of. We did that the other day. I'm going to show you how to do it again. I know I'm being repetitive with it, but I want to make sure that you know how to do it. It's very easy, but you know, I know that it can get confusing. What we're going to do though, let me show you what I have done. I did a double petal here, meaning I took an orange burgundy piece, this kind, and a burgundy, this kind, and I put this down on my table first, then a piece of this on top of it, folded it, and then put it on the board, and it looks like this. You can see I've got the burgundy one is on the inside. You see that? And then the orange red one is on top of it. You just fold it the same and it looks like this. So that's what I did. And I put it beside this was the yellow with the orange. This is the burgundy with the orange. And then I'm going to put just one single petal of the burgundy beside it. Now, let's flip my board over. Notice on row 2, you've got every hole in every shared pair. Every hole's got a zip tie in it, okay? So we'll have like this, an orange and yellow, an orange and burgundy, and then a burgundy, an orange and yellow, an orange and burgundy, and then a burgundy. Just follow that pattern all the way around, and it will look like this when you are through. So I've got to put on one more petal, and then I'll show you again how to fold just a single petal, the burgundy ones, okay? Let's come on down. Okay, here's my petal, and I've got all of these on here. There's my orange, all these zip ties in the way here. I've got 2 zip ties, let's see here, in between these 2 oranges. I've got 2 zip ties in between. So the one right next to this one is gonna get the burgundy and the orange one. And then we're going to make single burgundy ones, and then we'll pop them in that last one. And you can see how full this is getting. And remember, this is a small Unique in the Creek board. Can you imagine what it would look like on a large board? It'd be massive. So anyway, this is a great way to use small boards, lots of mesh, but nice full, and your customers are gonna love this. All right, let's do some burgundy ones. Just single petals. We're gonna take it like this, turn it into a diamond, take this corner and this corner, bring them together like that. You can hold this here and then just pull it down like that. You've got this line right here. All this right here from below this finished edge down is waste. We're going to cut it off. So we want to gather it above this because we don't want this. We don't want any raw edges. Okay, so we're going to pinch this in the middle. Then we're going to pinch, 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 or gather, or whatever you want to do. Then take your hand and just lightly go like that, and it'll make the petal do this. Okay. Now we will need, you need 8 of the golden yellow and orange doubled. You need 8 of the burgundy and golden orange and orange doubled, and 8 of the burgundy. And in just a minute, when my math brain kicks in, I will tell you how many petals, how many pieces of each color you will need. So I'm going to take this, cut this off, and then put it on my board. All right, let's see. We've got a burgundy right here. We have, there's my orange, my burgundy orange, and up there's my zip tie for this burgundy. I'm gonna pop it in right here. Just like that. And then cut my zip tie. All right, so I'm gonna put in, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to put in. I'll put those in, we'll come back and we will do row 3, and we'll get this thing done. Okay, now I will also explain to you when I get this put together, if you wanted to do it in yellow, how many pieces that you would need of each of the yellows. Okay, all right, I'll be back in just a little bit. I decided that what I'm going to do on row 3 is to use a single orange, the red and orange one, and a single brown and red one in one. I zip them, I'll show you, I'll zip tie them together and put them in one zip tie. They'll go in there together and it'll look like that. Let me show you how I do that. Very easy. We can do the same thing over again. Just let's come down to my table. I'm gonna take the brown with the burgundy. I'll pull my corners together and pull it down. I got that one a little too far apart. Let's see, we can go down and pinch and gather, or whatever you want to do to make it look, as I say, gnarly. Just make sure that your raw edge that's right here, this one has the finished edge, make sure that that is in the middle so it's not showing any, okay? I'm gonna take a clip that and set it right there. Take the orange one, do the same thing, the two corners together, pulling it down so you have your line, gathering it up, pulling that right like that. I'm going to take this one. Let's see. I think I did it this way. If I flip it over. Okay. I did it, but make sure you do it the same side every time. When you've got them laying down like this with the same side up, I was putting the orange on the other side of the brown like this. Put it there. Take off your clip. Zip tie these two together. Just like that. Cut your zip tie. Well, here we go. I think. There. And trim our tails. And these are some heavy duty upholstery scissors that I got on Amazon, and they are wonderful. I've had them for about 5 or 6 months, and they still cut really well. All right, then I'm going to take my board, and I remember I'm on row 3, and I'm going to go right here. You've got these are only every set of holes, so there's only 8 of them, so you have 16 pieces of mesh total on this row. I'm going to pop this one in right here. Okay, and they're going to kind of stand up, which is really cool. You want that. Cut that zip tie. I'll go ahead and cut this one. And so your board should be looking like this. All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make, see, I've got 2, so I've got to make 6 more of those pairs. So I've got 12 more petals to make, and then we will go to the center pieces. I'll show you how to do that, and we'll pop the bloom in the middle, put on some leaves, and we will have a burgundy sunflower. We'll be back in a minute. All right, it's time to make our little Gerber petals. They're going to look like this. I decided to do them in the golden yellow. And the reason, now, let me tell you this. This is my choice to do this. You do not have to do, the board will be covered up. If you use this is an 11-inch sunflower bloom that I got from Craft Outlet, and we painted it. And I showed you how I did that. If you put that on there, you can't even really see these yellow ones. But I'm gonna situate it, get it on there so that these peek out. I want to see them, but you do not have to do that. You can stop with just rows 1 for the leaves, 2 and 3 for petals, and that be it. But I'm going to go ahead and do these little Gerber petals, and I'm going to show you how to do them, okay? And we're going to do them in this golden yellow deco mesh, or sunflower yellow. All right, I'll bring you down like usual. All right, I think I have to make 6 more. There's 8 on there. All right, we've got our finished edges. We start the same way every time, don't we? All right, so I'm not going to bore you with that, but I'm going to take this and I'm going to turn it so that it is in a diamond formation. I'm going to fold this point to this one so that I have a triangle. I'm going to turn it sideways. I'm going to stretch it in the middle. Then this is flipping up. I'm going to carefully grab it. It's going to be, it's going to be wiry. I'm going to bring it like that, and I'm going to make sure that this comes to a point right here. Holding it, grab this in, bring it down. Look at that mess. That's a mess. Or at least it looks that way. I'm going to go ahead and grab it here and here and pull that in. And I want these bigger, so I'm kind of going further down here, and because none of this is going to show anyway, and I want these to be a little bit bigger than normal, so I'm going to do that. If these were going to show for sure, then you could, you know, tuck all those little raw edges in a little bit better than what I'm doing here. All right, so it looks like that. And doesn't that kind of look like the inner petals of a sunflower, the ones around the bloom? Let's do another one. Okay, diamond, top to bottom or bottom to top to make a triangle. Okay, here we go. Stretching it, pulling this down here, and pulling that up. Taking this and flipping it over right here. I'm going to pinch it right there. And zip tie it. There we go. Well, we can do another one. Let's get these on the board. All right, I'm gonna put, there's my open side. I want that good facing down. I want this pretty side up. Go to a zip tie. These are in every set and shared. I mean, they're all the holes are filled. Looks like stitching on the back. Zip that, tie that in. Look how it's standing up. I love it. All right, take another one. Right here. Get those zip ties out of the way. They get confusing. And then that one. Okay. So we're going to go right here. Almost done. There we go. I'll tuck this one behind that one. Cut these zip ties. All right. Look how nice and full that is, y'all. Bring you up. Here I am. All right, look at this. It's pretty good size. Let's see how big it is. I'm gonna put it on my mat. It is 26 inches. That's a big. I haven't put the leaves on. Okay. The leaves. I think I'm gonna use this the dark green horizontal wide. I'm not sure how many I'm gonna put on there. I think I said 5. is what I usually do. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've got 5 on there. But before I do that, I'm gonna hot glue some of these petals in because I'm worried about them coming out. I don't know. I don't want them to move, especially these in the center. So I'm gonna put a little hot glue on them. Just take my glue gun and just put some hot glue right there to make sure that those don't move. Uh-oh, that one already did. Oh my goodness. Yep, and let's see if I can get him in there. Yeah, there he went. Okay, let's get him good. We want to glue him in good. And then that one. I believe in the power of glue. Okay. And these won't be going anywhere. No way with all that glue. All right. When I finish, or at the end, I will flip this over and I put glue in the holes. Just drop glue, globs of glue in the holes to hold them, okay, in place and stuff. All right, let's make a couple of leaves. I'll show you how to do it. Same old. Oh, we're going to use this dark green. You could use a moss green or even the lime or fresh green or whatever it's called. Uh-oh, I got some hot glue on my glass, which is fine. It will come right up. I just love this glass. This was a shelf that I purchased for $1 at Hobby Lobby when they were changing their store around. So always look in that little sale section in the back of their store because you never know what you're going to find. It's perfect. I really like it. Okay, here we go. We're going to do our little bringing them in. Bring them in right there and pinch. Pinch and pinch and pinch and pinch. Okay, then zip tie it. And there's our leaf. All right, let's go ahead and put this on. I'll show you how to do it. Then I'll put them on, and then I'll come back and show you how to put the center on. I think you can figure it out yourself, but I think I better show you just in case. All right, let's get a leaf on so you can see what it would look like. All right, here's a, y'all can't see that. Here's a zip tie for a leaf, right here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to flip my board over, and this is so full. Here's my zip tie. I'm gonna pull it up like this, and making sure my seam is down, and tuck this in there real good. And when I go around at the end, I also put hot glue around the edge of my board to hold the leaves in place. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this with the scissors. All right, I see a string. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that dark green. See? Ah, there you go. It'll be like that. Okay, just like that. All right, I'm gonna put the leaves on. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I've got my leaves on, and they look like, now it looks like this. All right, let's peeking out here. One thing that you could do is put 2 leaves beside each other. You could do that. And I may put some silk, leftover sunflower leaves off flowers that I've used for my angel wings and stuff, for memorial wings and stuff. I save a lot of leaves from those, and I may kind of poke some of those in just for color and stuff. Let me show you how to do the center. We've painted our sunflower. It's nice and crinkly and stiff. We've got this little tab right here on the back. The first thing we're going to do is cut that thing. Oops, sorry. We're going to cut that off. Okay, just cut it right off. All right. And let me get my stuff together. I'll be right back. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of this really stiff, I mean, it is stiff. I use this in my ribbon curls for my snowflake wreaths too. I love this. I think it's 18 gauge, but I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to take a piece of this wire. I'm going to take one of these connectors, and I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to put that in the center of my sunflower. All right, right there. That little plastic thing that we cut off, it really needs to go. Now remember, no one's going to see the back. There we go. And I'm going to put that right there. All right, like that. I'm going to take some hot glue, and I'm going to make sure that that gets lots of glue. All right. I'm even going over the corners. And I am going under this thing too, because I do not trust it. I don't know. No one's going to ever see that green thing, but I don't know if it's going to want to come off. So I'm just going to glue it down, and then I won't have to worry about it. Okay. That's how I do things, y'all. Just glue it down. When you live in the South and the heat just melts stuff, you never know if the glue's going to hold. So you use as much of it as you can. All right. Okay. Now, there's all my glue. And what I'll do is I have bent this wire, as you can see, and I will put it through two of the holes. Just feed it through. Uh-oh. Hang on. There we go. And I am going to twist it. And really, it's better to do this when the glue is dry, but I wanted to show you it. I'm twisted it just once right now, and I'll do it tighter. See how loose that is? Once this glue is dry, I'll do it a lot tighter. Okay, to help hold that in place. And we'll feed those two wires through those two center holes right in the center of the wreath, and wire this really good on the back. And then I always take a piece of felt, put over that wire in the back so it doesn't scratch a door or even poke somebody for that matter. And it also kind of helps hold that in place, okay? I'll get this on here, and we'll put the center on, then we'll take it outside, and we'll see what it looks like in the sunshine. I'll be back in just a little bit. We're almost done. Well, while the glue's drying on my sunflower bloom, I thought that I had better go ahead and show you how I hot glue on the back of my boards and the leaves in particular. So I'm going to bring you down so you can see and show you how I do that. Okay. Here's my leaves right here. You can see them. I go right along the edge here of the board and glue it right there on the edge so that they don't move, and then I put glue right there too on the zip tie and in the holes. And then I turn my board. Go to the next one. Get him in place. And you can do this with all your petals if you want to, if you're worried about it. I will tell you this, when I make my angel wings, y'all, I use a ton of glue. Those petals don't move because they, with shipping, and then a lot of times they go to a cemetery and there's wind and so I make those things stay put. Now I'm gonna see if I can get more of my board in here. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't have the equipment that some people do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to go around, and I'm going to start putting glue in these holes. And they will hold those petals right below in place. It doesn't take, but, you can do it real fast. You just squirt just a little bit in there. Of course, right now, since we don't have our centering, don't do the center holes yet, because you're going to put your flower in there, in those holes. But you just go around the board. I don't know if you can see. I'm having a hard time seeing what you're seeing on my phone here, because that's how I film, is with my phone. Okay, I've done that row. Let's go to this row. Row 2. And then we'll go to row 3 and 4. Get that one again. I don't see any glue there. All right, here we go. We're going to go to this row. My glue needs to get hot again. It's starting to come out slower. And then finally this row right here. But these, y'all, actually, I can see glue there. I put glue all around that. You can also, if you want to, these long ones, these right here, I'll often go ahead and put a little glue to hold those, because I'm so afraid that something's going to come undone. The petal's going to fall out. The customer's going to be really unhappy, and oh, I don't want that. So I just glue it, you know. So you know, those long zip ties are glued in place. Okay, I don't see any more. The other thing that I will do, let me see where the hanging holes are, up here somewhere. And I use a thing called a Wreath Mate that I get from a company called Personally Yours. Personal and then LEE and then yours. And they are on the Shop app. And I get those. They're little clear acrylic, like U-shaped, and you zip tie them to your board, and they are great. I've been using them for about a year now, and so I'm going to put that on here. I didn't even show you this. I went ahead and put some, see the green around the yellow? Those are some little silk sunflower leaves that I had left over that I just glued in there. All right. I think my center, this is nice and dry, but I'm going to get my Wreath Mate on. Then we'll put this on, and we'll be done. Okay, I'll be right back. Here is the package of the Wreath Mate. That's what it looks like. And here's what they actually look like. Just this little U, and there's the holes. You put the zip tie, you zip tie it right on the board, and it works great. It looks very professional, so I really like them. All right, so I'll show you that. Look, I've already got it on there. My center is ready to go on. And this is where I can get, this is where I get kind of, I have a hard time sometimes getting the wires in the hole. So, oh my gosh, there's glue down there, y'all. Lots of it. I'll make sure, oh, okay, I'm fine. Those holes are free if I can find them from the top. All right, let's see if I can show you. I don't know if I can, but we're gonna try. All right, here we go. Here's my wires. I'm gonna try to find those center holes. I think I see one right there. I know you can't see that. Ah, I got it. Ah! Okay, let's see. I got it. Oh my word, I do not believe it. Okay, I'm gonna squish him in. I'm gonna push him down because I want these yellow things to kind of poke out too. Let's see, where are they over here? They're kind of squished right here. There he is. And here's one. Pull this in. I'm going to squish him down a little bit more. Pull him down. Turn it over. Pull your wires really tight. And try to flush it to the board like that, and twist. I'm going to take some wire cutters, and I'm going to snip this about right there and there. and take these wires and poke them right back down in the holes like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take my piece of felt. I'm going to hot glue that right over that wire. I'm also going to put some glue on it. Let's see, I'm going to go around this like this. There we go. And then last but not least, you want to have something on your board, so that I've had customers tell me that they have had people come to their door, flip their wreath over to look to see who made it, and take a picture of the card or whatever. So I take a business card. I used to buy the stickers, the business card stickers, but they were really more expensive than buying business cards. So this is better for me. I just buy business cards and I just hot glue it. There we go, right there. Okay. That's it. That's it. And I'm going to take this outside, and I'm going to show what it looks like out there. Okay, I'll be right back. Well, I'm outside. It's a bright sunny day, hot again here in Arkansas. Let's look at this sunflower, and there it is. The sun is pretty bright on it. You can see all the colors really well. What do you think? Do you like it? That's it. If you want to do a pot on it, get a piece of cardboard or maybe a paint stick, something, or a dowel rod, cover it with green, take a box, cover it with fabric, Mod Podge it, put it together, and you have a pot and a stem. That's what I did with the yellow one that you saw on Facebook. All right, that's it for today. I will also post again. I'll tell you how many pieces of each color mesh I used, and also how you can flip that and make it into a yellow sunflower instead of this copper burgundy one. Thanks again for joining me today. I appreciate your time. Please like my channel. Come visit often. Become a member. Members only get access to all my members only videos, which includes all my snowflake videos, which I also sell on Etsy. So if you want to watch all of them, go ahead and become a monthly member. I'll see you later. Blessings to you. Bye-bye. My